I like playing Legacy because I like to use the older cards, really like Brainstorm, Dark Ritual. I like to do big, awesome stuff and cast spells. I'm not really a big fan of creatures, so this is the best format to facilitate that. My name is Ryan Crouch. I'm playing the Epic Storm, and we are playing here at Grand Prix Columbus, the Legacy Grand Prix. Storm is a mechanic that this deck uses to its fullest potential. What it is, the wording, is Storm, when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. So the goal of the deck is to cast a whole bunch of little spells like Dark Ritual and Lotus Petal to get a lot of mana so you can cast your Storm spell. And the goal would be to get to a Storm of, say, 10 to cast a Tendrils of Agony targeting your opponent, which would, your opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, copied 10 times. So they would lose 20 and you would gain 20, ending the game. The mana base is Polluted Delta and Bloodstained Mire for the fetch lands. This is to give us the ability to fetch Volcanic Island, Underground Sea, Badlands, and Bayou in games 2 and 3 without having any weird situations where you can't fetch one or the other. We play one basic swamp for a lot of the blue decks like Delver matchups. We like to have some consistent mana for our discard spells and combo when we're ready for it. The fast mana in this deck is mainly Dark Ritual and Rite of Flame. They're 1 mana cost rituals that provide, +2 mana for Dark Ritual. Rite of Flame is +1, then +2, then +3 because it counts all the ones in the graveyard. My build is a little slower to fight miracles and stuff like that, so I'm playing 2 Cabal Rituals so that if I have one in my hand, I can use a tutor spell to go get the other one. We have Lotus Petal and Lion's Eye Diamond for our artifact mana, along with Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox gives us greater density of turn 1 kills with Ad Nauseam, and Lion's Eye Diamond is what makes Infernal Tutor insane. The cantrips in this deck are pretty thin. We're playing 4 Ponder and 4 Brainstorm with 4 Gitaxian Probe to kind of give us the go-ahead. Brainstorm is probably the best spell in this deck. It's very rare that you cast and resolve a Brainstorm in this deck and you don't kill your opponent that or the next turn. Ponder's really good because it lets you shuffle and see extra cards. Gitaxian Probe pairs really well with our discard spells of Cabal Therapy because we'll already have the information and sometimes we can get 2 or maybe 3 cards out of our opponent's hand and flash it back with our Empty the Warrens. Duress is the staple discard spell to make sure that there's no Force of Wills or counterbalances or anything scary that we don't like coming down on the turn before we combo. The tutors in this deck are Infernal Tutor and Burning Wish, play 4 of each. So we have a lot higher tutor density than Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Gives us a little bit more of a fast combo turn, and the Burning Wish gives us the flexibility of our sideboard wish cards. We have our kill spells of Empty the Warrens. As I said earlier, this is an Empty the Warrens deck. It prefers to do that on turn 1, make 12 to 14 goblins so your opponent's just under too much pressure. And lastly, Ad Nauseam, why we're playing a bunch of low-cost rituals and 0 mana artifacts to make sure that they die when we cast it. The purpose of the deck is to cast Burning Wish and use the toolbox cards in the sideboard. The Burning Wish is 1 and a red to choose a sorcery you own from outside of the game, so in competitive and professional REL, that's going to be our sideboard. Outside the game, reveal it and put it into your hand and you exile Burning Wish. We use a toolbox of things to deal with a multitude of board states. We have Past in Flames for very long games like against Miracles or heavy discard decks like Pox. We have Grapeshot when we want to kill a bunch of little creatures, or if we want to just get to 20 Storm and one them to death. We want to get a little obnoxious about it. Empty the Warrens for the fast turn 1, make 12 to 14 goblins turns. Pulverize is a recent addition to fight the Eldrazi Menace. They like to make hate artifacts on turns 1 and 2, like Thorn of Amethyst and Chalice of the Void. We have Thoughtseize as extra discard against blue decks. Massacre to fight hate bears like Death and Taxes and Maverick. Dark Petition so that we can get something out of our main deck that we need, like more rituals and Ad Nauseam. Of course, our main kill spell, Tendrils of Agony. Void Snare as the kind of catch-all sorcery for a blue, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And of course, the last catch-all would be 4 Abrupt Decays for games 2 and 3 to blow up Counterbalance, Chalice of the Void, and a Bayou to cast them with, which we bring in for the longer games. So the way this deck wins the game is you would want to cast like a Dark Ritual to start you're getting your Storm count higher and you're getting more mana. You play a Lion's Eye Diamond so that if you cast an Infernal Tutor, hold priority, and break the Lion's Eye Diamond for mana. With enough mana, we will cast Ad Nauseam, which lets us draw cards from our deck at the cost of life to their mana cost. So we're going to draw 12 to 15 cards, which is going to give us more than enough spells to cast 10 or more to Burning Wish for our Tendrils of Agony and kill our opponent. What I like most about playing the Epic Storm is it's extremely fast. It's actually pretty flashy. You have a really big combo turn, and it's really early, and it's a good way to have a lot of fun. Your friends might like you a little less for it for the day, but then they'll play it too.